Well, I have some very good news on this 64 Twin. Once that extensive alcohol bath was completed, and I mean extensive, and I also removed this wire from beneath the board and the blue wire from beneath the board where there was just some gunk on that wire between the two boards. At this point, now that all the alcohol has totally evaporated, there's no DC on these plate wires anymore. There's no DC on these B plus wires, which means there's no DC on these AC wires. All the stray DC is gone from every grid connection, every plate connection, every cathode connection. V2 and V1 need to be changed. I've got the original V1 in place, and I changed out V2 for Mullard temporarily. I'll talk to the owner about what he wants to put in there. But with the original tube on V1, has that great big twin sound, and there's no DC on the guitar. But there is some rushing sound as I turn the pot. Relatively minor. That's the kind of stuff you can live with. But on the vibrato channel for V2, the rushing water sound with the volume pot was just crazy. And with that new tube in V2, there's no noise when the volume pot's adjusted. No DC on the guitar. The new bright cap does what it's supposed to do. So it needs a new tube in V2 at least, possibly in V1. V1's optional, but V2 very necessary. And still have the microphonics on 2 of the output tubes. And I had moved the output tubes around, and the microphonics are following the tube, not the socket. The most microphonic 6L6 is the one farthest to the left. The second noisiest is second to the left, which means that when this is in place, they're the farthest from the speaker. So once the new speaker, well, the reconed speakers are back and everything's put back together, at that point, we'll see if it's a problem in the combo or not. If it is, well, you know, we'll come to that. I look forward to the eventual final playing test of this amp. The past 2 or 3 videos on this amp have been really ticky-tacky details, really, you know, the behind-the-scenes stuff that no one wants to do. But as you can hear, the payoff is worth it. The noise floor has dropped. The response is great. The volume has increased. Everything is sounding fantastic. I think all of you who've watched those previous videos, especially the one that was like an hour and 10 minutes, you know, talk about in the weeds. And thanks for all the kind words to those of you out there. Even the guy who said I patted myself on the back too much. I try to have some self-deprecating humor in these, and when I make a boneheaded mistake, I call myself on it. But, you know, I do have pride in my work, and if I cross a line occasionally into actual pride, I apologize. And don't worry, the rest of the world will be quick to put me back in line. I'm not going to get too big-headed off this. At the end of the day, I fix toys. You know, so how much of a swole head can I get? Little addendum to that twin reverb that's sounding so good. A friend of mine who owns the local music store I do Memphis work through asked if I'd take a look at this little Fender reverb unit. It's one of the reissues that came in on consignment. I went to try it to show it to a potential customer the other day, and it just made a horrible hum. And I'm happy to report that the reverb unit is fixed, and the total charge will be $40. It just needed a cleaning and a lot of clean hardware, tightened hardware. All the nuts were loose on the jacks and pots, including the foot switch jack, All the pots were very dirty. The RCA jacks were full of dust, and the entire thing was covered in a white dust that I suspect might be drywall dust, and that probably explains all the crackling and buzzing and awful sounds. But it's sounding just fine now. So here it is through that twin reverb. Not gonna do anything crazy for this. It works, and you'll hear the real sound of the twin reverb later. But I think I hit something wrong there, but it's fun to do that. Mess it up. We play good one day.